MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended.
You guys do realize that the video is over and that everybody can see you dancing?
Yes. Okay. Well,
yeah, I know.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the shit show. I just want to say hi to everybody. Yeah, I added a couple new things because I keep getting these little messages from YouTube saying, you got this, that, and the other. And it looks like it could be copyright, blah, blah, blah. So I added some other things. So we'll see how that goes. But I want to say hi to everybody on the panel. Thank you for joining me tonight. And we have a new person joining us this evening, Junebug Films. Everybody say hi. Welcome. And hi, Ruben. Hope you're having a good night. Okay, and Orange Hat, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it a lot.
Oh, of course.
And well, I guess we'll get started. So the first thing I want to bring up is this. Hold on, I gotta share my screen here. Can you guys see this young lady here?
What lady?
This lady right here.
I only see us four.
Oh,
I thought she was talking about herself.
No, well, here it is. I think it's, this. Okay. Can you see her now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to open it up a little bigger and I'm going to turn it on. So here we go.
Hey, good morning. I bet you guys didn't know this, but you can look this up. While the media is all hung up on this Donald Trump conviction, Joe Biden, as of yesterday, as the media would say, quietly okayed Ukraine to fire missiles into Russia. Let me make this abundantly clear to you. The Democrats want war. Ukraine, war in Yemen, Syria, Israel, Gaza. Democrat politicians love war because it fills their pockets. It makes them greedy and it makes them rich. So while we're all focusing on the biggest sham trial in history, which will in full put Donald Trump in the White House come 2024, because the rage that I'm seeing all over social media right now is like at epic levels. I have had so many people, and I've seen so many people say that they might have been on the fence that will be voting for Donald Trump now. I had family members that were on the fence, and the text messages that I got from those family members was Trump 2024. This has enraged America. All of his fundraising websites have crashed at this point. So if you want to donate to his campaign, you can go to Win Red. That's where you can donate. But I want to make this really clear. So while they're worried about getting rid of their political opposition that is killing them in every single poll, Joe Biden has okayed Ukraine yesterday to drop straight up missiles into Russia. So if you think that Putin's going to sit back and be okay with that, you haven't been paying attention. Politicians love war, and this is what the Democrat Party wants: war, death, destruction. Meanwhile, they want you to focus on what's going on over here. Media is barely even talking about it. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of seeing people die for politicians' greed. I'm tired of seeing it. And the one person who would said in multiple interviews that they would have ended all of these conflicts with a phone call. They don't want the phone call. They want war. And Joe Biden and the Democrat Party and the politicians that are corrupt in Washington are absolutely allowing it with the money that they steal from us every single day.
Okay, I want to say something real quick about that. Okay, I was talking to a few people, local people, about this, and you know what they said? Well, it's not us. We're not doing it. And I'm like, and then they said, we are getting money from Ukraine. They're buying all this stuff from us. And I'm like, buying it with what? Okay. We're trillions of dollars in debt because we keep sending more and more and more and more money to Ukraine, right? And everybody says it's money laundering or whatever it is. And then we're sending weapons and tanks and ammo and all kinds of shit. So if they drop a bomb, fly a plane over, we're training them how to fly jets. If they fly over there into Russia and drop a bomb, it's us, it's America that's paying for that war. It's America that's trained them to do it. Just because it wasn't an American citizen that did it, how can they possibly say it's not us that's starting this war? We're paying for everything, every dime. Yeah, a couple other countries might be putting a few dimes in, but we're paying for the bulk of all of it. So everything she's saying is true. What do you guys think about what she said?
Haven't heard a damn thing about missile hitting Russia or bombs hitting Russia yet. And
Not yet.
It doesn't matter if fucking Biden gives them, or it doesn't matter if Biden gives them permission or anything. They're going to fucking do it anyway.
Mm-hmm. But
So
they
it's
couldn't
like,
do it
I'm
if
sorry.
we didn't give them
You
the
can
money.
say that all you
and the
want. I have not
weapons.
seen a damn report saying it happened.
Okay, it hasn't happened yet. What
I have
I'm
not
trying
seen
to
a damn
say is
report
when
saying
it
it
does
happened yet.
happen, how can we say it's not us? How can we say it's not us when we're paying for every single thing? It's us, our money that we sweated for at work because they took it out of our check. So we didn't have any say in this. They just took it from us and they're sending it to Ukraine to keep them, fluid with money to be able to buy more weapons to start this war. And that's us. That's our country that did that. Our president. So we're the ones starting the war.
Yeah.
Pushing them in that direction.
We all knew this already.
Okay. But what I'm trying to say is I've had people tell me that that's not true. That they're
they don't know. They don't.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say is that half of America doesn't know because they don't pay attention. So when we do drop a bomb and we're in war now, okay, because we'll be pulled into it.
Right.
That's what happens when we're supposed to be helping a country and somebody's going to war with them. We step in and we send our young people to die in their war.
Yeah, but not anymore. It's done. We're not. No one's doing that anymore. No, we're not. No one's.
Okay.
They're gonna stand up against it.
So I guess I'm full of shit. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No,
so I'm gonna go ahead. And
nobody ever said you were that. No, nobody said that.
I'm just saying that
I'm just
now.
Gonna let her finish playing it since I don't know what I'm talking about. And when we drop a bomb that we made and that we handed them to drop on them, it has nothing to do with us. So we're not involved. But here we go. We finish playing this.
This has done is enraged America. People that I know that usually on big platforms that don't ever talk politics, I've seen video after video of them coming out and saying, you know what? I've never talked about politics, but today I'm going to. This is not okay. And I will be voting for Donald Trump. This man has the entire weight of the federal government on his shoulders. And we have never seen corruption at this level. And you want to know why? Because when Donald Trump came along, he shined a big old light on it. Listen, our government's been corrupt for centuries. It's just more evident now, and it's more out there for you to see. He walked out of that courtroom, not in shambles, not in chains, and he is still fighting. So this is what I'm going to tell you. While Joe Biden and the Democrat Party are dropping bombs everywhere and continuing pushing us into World War III, Americans can't find housing, they can't pay for rent, they can't afford groceries and gas, you can't afford anything. Inflation, 16 plus million people dumped into our country that don't belong here. This is what the Democrat Party wants, and they can't beat him at the polls fair and square. And this is what normal Americans see, even non-Trump supporters. They want to see a good fight at the ballot box. They don't want to see someone trying to jail their political opponent because they know they can't win. And normal everyday Americans are seeing this and are now going to be voting for Donald Trump. So let the liberals on this app have their moment and they're cheering, because we'll be cheering come November when he becomes their president once again. And if they can do it to him, they can do it to the Biden administration as well. You've just opened up that precedent that you can go in and indict former presidents. And if you think that Donald Trump's just going to sit back and allow this, you haven't been paying attention. All of this comes down to one simple fact, that these corrupt politicians don't care about you. And I've been saying that for months. They care about their own political gain and their own pocketbook. And they want war. So go ahead and look that up. This happened yesterday. Quietly, Joe Biden allowed Ukraine to throw missiles into Russia because they want this war. You have a man that has never drank a drink, never smoked a cigarette, never did a drug, never been in trouble with the law. Miraculously overnight, get 90-something indictments. He's been now indicted more than Al Capone, a man who murdered people. This is why it's called a political persecution, because we all know it and America sees it. So while you want to go vote for a man who wants to continue murdering people and funding these wars overseas, I once again will be voting for the first time ever for a convicted felon. And I can't wait to do it. And the people that I know, especially my own family that were on the fence, will be voting for him now too, because they see that this is not America. This is not how we do it. You don't go and use the DOJ and lower court systems to take out your political opponent. You do it at the ballot box, like it's been for many, many years. This is a travesty. And all this has done is solidify that Donald Trump is going to be your next president. So, hey, liberals and Democrats, get ready to start calling Donald Trump the convicted felon and the next president of the United States. Good talk.
Yeah, but
there you go.
Okay. Yeah, okay. She's a first-time voter, so that's why she's saying what she's saying. Everything she's saying is somewhat accurate, but as a first-time voter, she's now getting informed, but she's grossly misinformed. It's not the Democrats, it's the Uniparty. It's the Republicans and the Democrats. It's big military industrial complex. It's the corporate media. It's bigger than she thinks.
Yeah.
So there's
huge.
so do
It's
not
ginormous.
do not think that voting Trump is going to change a damn thing. You need to vote for your representative and change it out. And you have to go basically have the laws change. The lobbyists, get them out. The deep state has to be removed. That's what you have to do. This is just step one. But if people like her are now awake to the idea, then I hope there's more people awake. There are currently 200 million registered voters in the United States. There are rumors that Trump will get over 100 million votes. That's higher than anybody has ever gotten. The highest was Biden, supposedly got 81 million. Yeah. If it's
right.
100,
in the record books.
If it's over 100 million votes, there's no way that the steal can, as they say, make it too big to steal. Because right now, Trump is. There are now swing states, or not swing. There's states that he shouldn't be winning, that he's winning, or he could win. You know.
I know.
You know, he could do that. He could make a play in New York, New Jersey, Nevada, Michigan, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, all these states. He could easily win. So that's the thing. So then people have to get out to vote, and not just vote for president, but vote for changing your congressman.
Yep.
Because that's what they have to do.
Your local people. I know. I've been doing this for years. I helped work on Sarah's campaign.
Yeah, okay? but again, she's establishment too. So.
No, I'm just saying I did it because I thought we needed her for our state, and I helped. And I work the polls. I've signed up to do jury duty. I do everything I can. To help my people, which is the American citizens that I live around. Okay. And one day, just like I said, one day I could be accused of a crime, and I need a jury. I hope to God one person is like me that actually gives a shit about justice and cares about the truth and cares about facts. If they handed me something to look at as evidence, I'm going to use that and weigh that evidence before I make a judgment. I don't care what anybody else says in the room, and no one's going to buy me off. Even if they threaten to kill me and my family, I still won't do it, because I have to pray that God will protect my family, and that's I'm going to put it on God, okay, to protect my family and let me do the right thing, the things that I think that He would want me to do. Yeah, but not everybody thinks that way, which is fine. Everybody has the right to do whatever they want, but what I'm trying to say is it's in our lap now. All of us Americans, if we want to see it change, we have to do it. We can't say, oh, well.
And what's that? And what's Janet? What do we need to do again?
It's in our laps.
No, it's a line.
Oh.
You need to vote.
No, you work the polls.
I haven't gotten that far yet. But what I'm saying is, it's on us. Okay. It's up to us to make a difference. If we say, okay, just like you said a while ago, if Trump's in office now, we can lay back and relax and everything's going to take care of itself. It isn't. Remember when he was in last time, he couldn't even get anyone to help him. You know, nobody passed. They said they were going to get rid of Obamacare. They were going to do this. They're going to do that, blah, blah, blah. Close the borders. They're going to do all this stuff. And he had to do almost everything with executive orders because he couldn't get the freaking rhinos off their ass.
Right. So
and that's the same damn rhinos are still sitting in there right now doing nothing, doing jack shit. They haven't done anything to help our January 6th people. They're just still sitting there rotting in jail. And not one of them's been charged with insurrection. Okay. So where are they? They're not helping us. We have to help ourselves. It's up to us to do it ourselves.
Yes.
We can't wait around for anyone else to do it for us because they're not going to.
But just be careful. Just be careful who you throw your faith around because they're also they're not for MAGA either. So that's
okay. I do the best I can.
Yeah,
be very careful. I can with the information that I get, but I'm telling you, common sense goes a long damn way. Right. Use common sense. Period. If that dumbass keeps saying he's going to do this, that, and the other, and he's done nothing in 3.5 years of being in there, I'm telling you, I don't care. Don't vote him in again because he hasn't.
So then here's one thing to say, observation and question per se, being 1968 all over again with the election and period, everything going on, and the idea of if there were a war to happen and they were a draft or anything of that nature happening or some conflict occurring, people are going to stand up and say, it's not Russia, it's not China, it's not the Iran, it's the United States. They're actually going to say a revolt against the country. They will do it because again, the way things are now, as opposed to happens in the Vietnam War, and even conflicts of even like Desert Storm and whatever. In the 90s, we haven't had a major conflict in a very long time that was global. Think about this. We have Twitter, we have podcasters, we have on the ground investigative reporters that will be doing things differently now. So they can't stop this. They can't steal it in that regard because it'll be publicized really a lot faster now, and you have a lot more awareness now. And at any war that we're going to happen, if there's a draft, there'll be a revolt. People will not go. People will leave. So what does the government do then? They still stop loss and try and force people not to quit.
Well, the last few times we've had the show, I've said pretty much the same thing. I know I sound like a broken record. I said what I thought was coming up. That I think that we won't have elections if they can't stop Trump with this lawfare, and he gets nominated by the GOP as the next person to run, and they know that they can't outvote him. Okay, they can't outvote us because there's too many of us. People that want America first, right? So it's either get rid of him by those means, or cheat, or some other means, whatever they have to. They'll do anything to stop this man from being in the White House because they know as soon as he's in there, they're dead. They're gone. I mean, I don't mean dead. I mean that they're not going to be able to get away with it anymore. They're not going to be able to get the money to keep sending it to Ukraine. They're not going to get the money to keep sending it to them and China and this and that. He's going to start bringing jobs back again, just like he did last time. Start manufacturing medicines and ammo and drilling for oil, all the same stuff that he did last time, rebuilding the wall that Biden started tearing down and selling it off piece by piece. Everything. They dismantled everything. And look how bad a shape we are. Our schools are in bad shape. They're letting kids torture themselves, basically mutilate their bodies, everything. I mean, it's terrible where we are right now in our country. And basically this whole shit show that we're watching in the courts unfold, this is just the beginning. There's still 3 more cases against Trump
that are not going to happen until after the election, and most likely
maybe.
Trump is
We don't
going
know.
to win because of everything that has happened today,
Is he breaking up
or
for you
everything that
guys?
is assured
Yeah.
that 99% of Republicans are going to vote.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, I do agree that we're going to have a lot more people want to vote because of the
Even Democrats have
the
turned
shit
on
that's
him.
going on. So
Mhm.
it has helped a little bit. But I wanted to share something
Even
else. So hold on
Democrats.
for a second. I already did that one.
But if I may give one last thought on that woman and her spiel. How's my audio? Am I coming through clearly?
You're breaking up a little bit.
I think the Democrats are getting to him. He's breaking up.
Well,
yeah, it's you're like choppy.
let's see if
At
does
least
that
it
help
is
at
to me.
all?
Yeah, I think you sound better.
Does that help at all?
A little.
All right. Well, here's the thing. That woman and her entire spiel, she's thinking that everybody is not able to think for more than 2 different separate occasions. You think that people aren't paying attention to the shit that's going on in Ukraine? Yes, it sucks that Trump is fucking been found guilty by a corrupt jury and a corrupt judge and all that. But do you honestly think that we are unable to multitask? I mean, this woman is a first-time voter, so obviously her full head isn't thinking clearly. But it's like, honey, we've been at this game a lot longer than you have. We are going to be paying attention to more than just one thing going on. Do you not think that we don't know the whole sleight of hand trick? Oh, look at this. But over there is what's really dangerous and what's the real freaking magic of it. Obviously, we know what's freaking going on. Obviously, we know it's a misdirection. Obviously, we know what Biden is going to do with this whole thing. The man just fucking smiled at the press after they asked him about Trump calling or saying that this is a political prisoner case. And you honestly think we aren't paying attention? Hey, it's good that you're finally paying attention, but I guarantee you, we have been paying attention. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on her.
Okay, well, I wanted to share this. I thought it was awesome when I saw it earlier. I wanted to share this.
Oh.
Nice.
I thought it was great. So I just wanted to share that. Did you guys see it?
That's pretty awesome. I want to see that movie now.
I thought it was so good. It made me laugh, but I don't get to add a lot of things that are happy. So I just thought that was a good one. But I wanted to read this next thing, because it was an X tweet or post, or what do you want to call it, from James Woods. It says, I believe this Democrat lawfare attack on President Trump is a historic moment in our 248 years as the world's first true republic. Not for the reason the gleeous leftists are giddily cohorting about, however. Here's the real result of this absurd show trial worthy of Stalin that embarrassed America in the eyes of the world. Republicans can now rally around a convicted criminal devoted to neither political party, but rather to a nation he loves deeply, or they can submissively crawl back to some weak, limp rhino candidate that Democrats approve of and can beat handedly in yet another rigged election. Short version, America is left with 2 choices: a one-party system of corrupt socialist thugs, or an all-out revolution of our woeful status quo. Not a pretty choice. I love that. I thought that was awesome. And getting to hear that, I read that and hear it in James Wood's voice, I thought was worth $1 million. It was great. It made me feel really good. It re-inspired me to know that other people like James Woods, people in Hollywood, higher up people that normally would be hanging with all these libtards, right? It thinks the same way I do. And that made me feel, I don't know, it made me feel pretty good. So I wanted to share that with everyone. But the whole thing is, one of the things I wanted to talk about today, anyways, was because this whole thing, the whole case, when I first heard about it, was they call it the hush money case. Okay. And then I was like trying to understand what do they mean? She signed a non-disclosure, right? And then they went to court and she lost, and her lawyer that was in that court case is in jail right now down in Florida for crimes because he's a thief and a liar. And she was told she had to pay Trump money for going against breaking the non-disclosure that she signed. Okay. I've signed like 15 non-disclosures, different things that I've worked on. Like when you read a script and if they're making it into a movie, you have to sign a non-disclosure so that you don't tell anyone the ending of the movie or what's going to happen in the movie, blah, blah, blah. And until the movie's out. Once the movie's out, then you can talk about what you did on set and how you did this, that, and the other, right? Well, that means I signed it because I meant that I wouldn't give away the secrets of the movie and ruin the chance of it being successful or someone knowing about the ending before they're supposed to, like all the leaks that you hear about. That's normal. People do it every single day. So the fact that you have this person that wrote a check for supposedly for Trump, and now Trump is being held responsible for it, I understand that. But all 32 accounts, it's just, I don't know. To me, the whole thing just sounded so rigged. I was expecting 3 or 4, maybe, out of all that, because he had to have known something that was going on for it to be his money. And he was supposed to be telling someone to shut up and paying them off. So I don't know. I just think the whole thing is ridiculous. But after reading all that, I started looking it up about non-disclosures and as much information as I could find. But I found out that this was an article that I found I wanted to show everybody. Oh, hold on. Let me find it real quick. Oh, I suck at this so bad. Oh, here it is. Okay. Basically, this article, okay, it says Congress paid out $17 million in settlements, and here's why we know so little about that money. If you start reading it, it says 2 things have become painfully clear on Capitol Hill. Lawmakers and staffers say sexual harassment is rampant. This is from, I think, 2018, this article, but I was just trying to find articles about how Congress can pay people off, but our president of the United States can't have someone sign a non-disclosure and pay them. I don't know. I just think this is ridiculous. So, but this gentleman that it says that that they paid $17 million to cover up stuff for Congress. And this was in 2018. So this has been going on for a long time, apparently, but I never thought about it until it started coming out with this case with Trump, and he just got convicted, and now he's going to be a felon because he had someone sign a non-disclosure and paid them money, which millions of people do every day in the United States. I mean, not millions, but hundreds of thousands, maybe every year, 1 million people might do it because there's so many businesses.
But Jenny, you're saying it wrong. Just so it's clear.
Okay, well, fix it for me then.
Well,
tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Okay. Cohen contacted Stormy Daniels to have her sign the NDA, and then he paid her. Trump didn't do anything. So then it's not Trump didn't write a check. And that's what people believe now. The morons out there actually believe that Trump wrote the check to her. No.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does it? He's been convicted by a jury.
Yeah, but but that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant in the sense that that's not reality. It didn't happen. Trump did not do it. So then you have to because it's a whole thing where it's like the misread thing, the Mandela effect, where you basically, Luke, I am your father, which has never got said. If you're repeating the misinformation. The truth again, Trump did not pay anybody anything. Did not do it.
Well, it came out of his checking account, so that's why.
No,
it did not. It's his lawyer. Yeah, I know it was that guy, the lawyer that wrote the check. It was from his account.
Yes,
but he was doing it supposedly because Trump told him to do it.
But there's no evidence of that. There's no evidence of that. There's no evidence of that.
It doesn't matter. A jury said that the evidence that they were handed proved to them that he's guilty on 32 counts. So he's guilty.
And a jury can be overturned by an appellate court.
It's 34, but you're missing the point. Stop saying the lie. I don't know why you're saying that. It just makes no sense.
I'm saying it because that's what our news is saying. This is what people are being told right now.
And we all know
as
that
of
the
yesterday.
news can be trusted.
Well,
yeah.
I don't trust them. I don't believe it. I don't believe any of this shit. But I'm just saying the fact of what they are saying right now. Even 2 lawyers were on this jury, and they convicted him. So what evidence did they see that we're not getting to see? That they think that he's guilty.
There is no evidence. That's the point. There is no evidence. It's all
then
fabrication.
You're saying all 12 jurors are liars. Is that what you're saying then?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. They are.
I
think that he was going to get
a
fair trial with a fair jury in New York
I knew
City?
he wasn't.
No, there was no fucking chance.
I said this last year. I said they're going to put him in jail. They're going to arrest him. It doesn't matter if they have evidence.
But again, again, you have to when you're saying the story again, you have to say it correctly. It's basically, like I said, Cohen was on Trump's legal team.
Yeah, he's one of his lawyers.
He went out to contact and had her sign the NDA, and then he paid her out of his pocket and then billed Trump's organization, who then Trump paid him back. That's all it was. Didn't know what it was about, did that. He did it. So it's a legal expense. They went after him saying, no, that's a campaign expense, but it's not. It wasn't a campaign expense. It's a legal expense because Trump himself didn't do it. And again, Trump did not write the check. Trump didn't do anything. He did not do anything. Again, stop saying that, please. It's Cohen that did that. Cohen is the one that handled the transfer of funds. But they are basically saying, but they're basically saying,
I admit it. I was just telling everybody that's listening what they're saying. The news. The Biden administration, the news, everybody that's running anything in the courts in New York. That's what they're saying. And 12 jurors found him guilty on all the counts, 34 counts. Isn't that what you said? 34?
34.
Okay. So it doesn't matter what I think. I'm just a hillbilly from Arkansas, basically, right? So I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But
and it's going to be overturned by an appellate court or
which appellate
Supreme Court?
One in New York.
There
Another
was
one from New
constitutional
York
violations within this trial.
Overturn it. Aaron Chat. Another court in New York is going to overturn it. Do you really believe that?
It could be. They're held to a higher standard, and if they don't, it goes up to the Supreme Court
of the state of New York. Because that's how it goes. It's that way, right?
The Supreme Court in the state of New York is more red than blue.
And then if they don't get the answer that somebody wants, then it goes to our Supreme Court then.
Yes.
Unless the Supreme Court offers to take it right now. And then it won't have to go to the appellate court. But that's the only way that it can get to the Supreme Court over the state of New York. They have to ask for it. Is that right or not?
Yes.
Okay. So As of right now, though, that's the facts. The facts are that he has been convicted of 34 counts of basically fraud, lying or whatever, cheating, stealing his way through by trying to pay off someone to keep their mouth shut. So that's what they're telling everybody, that a president of the United States did that, even though it was just a business deal, a non-disclosure form that millions of people have done in this country, that all kinds of companies use. And this person has been convicted of it, and now he's a felon because he did something that every business pretty much has used since, I don't know, since businesses were started with lawyers being involved. So I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous, but that's where we are right now. And that's a fact, whether I don't believe it or not, but people have to realize that that's where we are. That is a fact of where we are right now in this country, is that we have a president that just been convicted by 12 people from New York saying he's guilty of whatever crime it was by the stipulations of that judge. So, and that's a fact. I'm not making it up. It's actual fact that the news is saying right now on TV.
Yeah, but the news is wrong. They're not news anymore. They're
well,
propaganda.
yeah, I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong too, but that doesn't change anything. Okay. They can still say on July 11th, when he's supposed to go to be sentenced, right? As far as I know, they're still going to sentence him, aren't they? Even if it's been appealing, or they're appealing it.
Yeah, they still sentencing is going to go forward. Yeah.
So by the time he goes to the NRC, he'll be a convicted felon. And then they might say, well, we don't want to vote a convicted felon in, so we have to pick someone else. I mean, I don't know what the procedures are. I don't run these things.
No, that doesn't.
So what do you think might happen when it goes to the NRC?
No, it should be a landslide, approval. The only question I have is Mershon going to be a dick and basically say July 11th, you know what? First time offense, all you have to do is be under house arrest. So then he can't go to the convention. And
he can't go to rallies.
Correct.
So that's impeding on his running for president.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole.
That's
what they wanted. And that's what they wanted,
isn't it? Wouldn't you consider that all of this?
Yep, that's what they wanted.
Election interference or not?
Yep.
What do you other guys think?
It very much is.
Yeah.
And it's working.
That's my audio.
They know what they're doing. These people know exactly what they're doing. Every single thing they're doing is working, and they're getting away with it. So it doesn't matter whether it's against the Constitution or against President Trump's civil rights, does it? If nothing's happening and nobody's being punished for it at this moment when it matters, because November is only a few months away, what how does that help? So we end up getting it sounds better.
Oh my God.
If we end up getting another crooked president in that wasn't elected because this happened, interference, and it kept him from getting to be able to be in the White House, we're right back where we are right now. So I'm trying not to be black-pilled, but I'm looking at facts. Okay. So tell me I'm wrong. Fix it for me.
I'm not worried about any of this in the least.
Why? What's going to happen right now until November?
Okay. Oh God! Ask a question and I'll answer it. I just want to answer. I want to move on. Ask a question.
Okay, my question is, what do you think is going to happen from right now until January 9th? If he's elected, what's going to happen between?
So here
until January 9th.
So here are the nightmare scenarios. Okay, the first thing is the fact that if the election happens, and if there's some attack or something goes on, there's precedent of the governors extending or changing the day of election, November 5th, and then January 6th being the, whatever day it is for the certification. And then, but then again, then the nightmare scenario there is that there are state issues that they are that some the legislators or the governor could actually intervene. So Trump could win a state, but the governor won't certify the election and will put his own slate of electors in.
Mm-hmm.
And they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So like who is it here? In Illinois, Pritzker yesterday said he will never be the 47th president. It will not happen. So he's already laying the groundwork. If Illinois were to switch and go for Trump, he would step in and say no. We think there's election interference because it happened in 2016 and now it's happening again. So we're going to put our own slate of electors in. You have Gavin Newsom doing the same thing. You have another one. So that's the nightmare scenario where the governors or the legislatures that are democratically controlled can put their own slate of electors despite the election.
Yeah,
that could happen. And if you have a well-planned attack, HARP does something, or there's a false flag, or God forbid a very major attack, nuclear or whatever, occurs during that period, throws chaos. There could be martial law or something going on at the same time, coordinated, where they will do these things, or who knows, this bird flu thing could happen because they want to time it. They already have the data. Where when the national emergency happened in March, that people were still confused doing things, but everyone eventually fell in line at the state level pretty quickly because they wanted to get rid of this. People were dying in the hospitals supposedly, and they can do that now. But they want to basically say, let's wait until October, or let's wait till September, after Labor Day to do something, and then that will coordinate it to there. And then again, you have November, December, and January. You have 3 months. They can do shenanigans and all that stuff. But my concern comes with where the state legislatures will do things, and there is the Constitution has a provision that does that. The state legislators are the ones that are responsible for the setting the state of electors to there, so they can do something. So if you have a democratically controlled Senate state Senate in any of these states that he should have won but didn't, but he did win, but they don't want him to win, they can change the slate of electors and send to their slate of electors that can overturn the election. And it's the same scenario again we had in January 20th or January 6th, where we say that they know, and they have to have a representative and a senator contest the idea. So you have 2 Democratic senators in a state that was duly elected, but they can throw out the election interference thing, and they can have the people involved. And if this happens in conjunction with a national emergency, guess who else is involved? Which agency steps up and it takes over the elections? FEMA.
Oh, because it's an emergency.
Correct. I've been doing research as we're talking here. So that's the other red flag because again, FEMA can start to control everything, but they have these. Again, it hasn't happened yet, and that's the whole idea. They don't want to show their hand. If they want to do something, they want to do it as close to the election as possible, or close to it, so that if there's a problem, then they can throw it in there, and then they can have all these problems. And then, because just like happened in 2000 with Gore and Bush, you had the what do we do, this and that, why are you counting all the ballots, will you stop this and that, all these, and this is just one state in Florida.
Yep,
I
remember that.
And then 2020. You had Pennsylvania doing something it should have been doing. You had Arizona doing things. You had Georgia doing things. You had Florida. Everything was doing, and it was not just the state. It was certain counties doing certain things. So to your grand whole idea, work the polls in your county, in your district, do that, but make sure that your Secretary of State is legitimate, because again, back in 2000, when Bush won legitimately, the Democrats had a plan, and they basically went back and said, we have to change the Secretary of States to be Democratic. We have to control. And that plan has paid off in 2020. Because again, in 2020, when you went there, they sent their electors and they didn't want to contest it because they said the fix was in. We're doing it now because Bush did it in 2020 and 2000. We're doing it in 2020. We're taking this back. So that's what I'm saying. So 2024 could be bad, but again, that's the nightmare scenario. There is still the idea that what's going to happen to not even forget Trump, but what about Biden? Biden's losing right now, and everyone's coming out against him. What's going to happen on? Is he going to even be fit to be elected as nominated? His convention be a show.
I have already said that I don't even think he's going to be the one that they're going to have run. So I'm just waiting for him to keel over, or them say he's not able to perform for the next 4 years, and they're going to do whatever procedures they have to put Kamala in there, or she'll step down and they bring in 2 new people. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to be Biden. I still don't. So in November, it's going to be on the ballot. But the thing is, I don't know who it is going to be. But I just don't know what's going to happen when it comes to Trump. I mean, I really don't, because I don't trust these people that are in office. They cheated to get in. They've done nothing but tear this country apart since they started. First thing he was doing was undoing all Trump's executive orders. They stopped drilling. We're not even drilling our own oil. We're using our oil reserves. We don't even have enough oil to make enough gas or anything. If we did go to war for our own country, we're not producing anything. We're not growing food. We're not making our own ammo. We're not making our own medicine. If it wasn't for China, we wouldn't even be able to fill half our prescriptions. And people aren't even thinking about that. People with diabetes, people with heart disease, people with all these other cancer, all these different things that we need medicine for, that we should be making for ourselves so that we're self-sustainable. Trump was trying to do that the last time he was in. I mean, we could cut off every single other country from bringing us anything. We would be able to take care of ourselves. We are a huge country. We should be able to do that.
Right.
Why aren't we? Okay. We should be selling our excess and making bank for all of us. That's what we should be doing. And that's what Trump was trying to do.
Yep.
And they hated him for it. They absolutely hated him because he started making them pay tariffs. Because why should we send something like to another country and they charge it, they make it so expensive that nobody buys it? I mean, you go to Norway and you try to buy a Happy Meal, it costs you $100 to go and take a mom and a kid to eat at McDonald's. It costs $100. A pack of cigarettes might cost $30. Okay. Why? Because they have so many tariffs added to it. So people don't buy American-made products because it's too expensive. But they can sell us all their cheap plastic crap from China, and it's the first thing on the shelf at Walmart. Okay. Walmart's happy to make money off of their cheap shit they get from China. Okay, so if you try to go to True Value Hardware or some other place to buy something, you're going to pay more because guess what? They're trying to sell American-made products in their store, but people don't want to buy American-made. They want to buy cheap plastic crap because it's cheap. Okay, so we hurt ourselves because we don't prop up our own country and say America first. Okay. That's part of our problem, is because we've gotten used to just going through the drive-through and eating whatever plastic crap that they're making for you on a hamburger that's this tiny. And the picture shows this giant, nice burger. And when you get it, it's a piece of flat stuff with a few things thrown on it, and we accept it. And we get Uber Eats and we pay for a $10 meal. We pay $50 for it because we had Uber Eats bring it to us because we want this. We've given up our freedoms and put handcuffs on so that we can have fast, cheap shit. So we did that to ourselves. Nobody made us do that. We did it. And we put ourselves right where we are.
Yeah,
lazy.
Let me find that post. You remind me of some post.
I can't help it. This is just, I'm just so frustrated because I got away from crime as best I could. Now I live in a teeny tiny rural area in Arkansas. Half the time we don't have cell service. I have to have a booster in my house just to have cell service. So it's hooked up to my internet. Okay. But I did it because I wanted stability. I wanted some way to know that I saw some freedom, like, that type of thing. But not everybody could do that. I feel sorry for all the people that are stuck in their apartment complex and they can't leave because they have to have this job, or they have to have 2 jobs to be able to pay their bills. Okay. Things like that, or buy groceries for their family, things like that. Because this administration doesn't care that your grocery bill's gone up 4 times. It's 4 times more expensive to buy stuff that didn't used to cost that much. But they don't care.
This thing I've shared right now on the private chat is funny. You should see this. This is hilarious because this proves the whole point you just said, but it's in a funny way. How people are manipulated to do anything.
Can I pull this up?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, let me copy this link and I'll
should be able to. You should be
hold
able
on,
to.
let me go over here and try to do this. Oh God, I suck at this stuff. Okay,
Janet, you've been doing the show for a long time. Oh,
I know, but it just seems like it's so hard. I'm a blonde. Is it a comedian snaps on heckler? Is that the one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna share this then and make it bigger so everybody can see it. Share screen.
People have had this shit done. They're just tired of this shit already.
Yeah, a lot of people are tired of it. Can you see
Make
it?
it big. Make it bigger. Yeah, make it big.
Okay, I'm gonna make the volume up and make it bigger.
Wait, it's not. The volume's not up. Volume's not up, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
See?
Okay. Go. Okay.
You
Good.
guys ready? Here we go.
The Mexicans are trying to figure out what a vaccine passport is. Hey, honey, if you think I suck, the door's right there. You can get the fuck out. I know when people get offended and they think their opinion is more important than a room full of people who are enjoying the content. She's vaccinated. I got it now. Hey, people died. I know, people died all the fucking time. The rest of us got to suffer because these guys were doing it for stupid shit. It was like so they could go to brunch. You're giving up our civil liberties for what? They're like, oh, well, I like banana pancakes. And I'm like, yeah, well, your grandfather's watching you right now being like, wow, if I know my grandson was going to be such a faggot, I would have let that Nazi soldier fuck me in the ass. The Mexicans are trying to...
Wow. That was way over the top.
I know, but that's the whole point. The point is again, comedy is where we need to stand up, and people did that. They were manipulated to do things that they fell for the whole thing, and people are doing it now. They're going to do that because again, they want to have their cushy lives, and that's how it's built up. But think about it. Bidenomics has made this life not cushy. People are now being affected. Kitchen table issues, where you going back where you're saying, where again people were talking about like a burger meal being $30. And again, what's so funny? 20 years ago, I said this shit. You're spending too much money. It's going to be like that. You're going to spend $50 for a large latte at Starbucks soon. And people laughed at me. I said, no, it's going to happen.
Well, the thing is, I grew up, it's like I've said a few times before. I have 4 sisters. We had a 3-bedroom house and 1 bathroom. So my dad used the tree outside more than he used his own bathroom, I think, to go pee. Okay. And that's a fact because he never could get in the bathroom when you have 5 daughters, right?
So
the thing is that we weren't rich. Okay. So we had to make our own meals. We had to buy the meat, we had to cut the stuff up, we had to cook, and we had to prepare the meals that we ate at home. We couldn't afford to go to the restaurants all the time. So that was a special thing for us because we just didn't have the money. So what's funny to me is seeing these rich people that are used to Uber, Uber Eats, delivering their meal and all this stuff. And they're all these different people bitching and moaning that their vapes and their cigarettes are so expensive and this, that, and the other, and how expensive it is to eat out. And I'm like, how many times a week do you eat out? And they go, well, every day. And I'm like, why? And they said, well, what else am I supposed to do? And I'm like, well, go buy lettuce, a head of lettuce and stuff, and make a salad. You can eat a salad every single day for the week. And it probably costs you less to eat a salad every single day from what you bought than it would cost you to buy 2 salads, when you go out to eat. And they're like, they look at you like, they don't understand because they're so accustomed to what they've been doing. They don't want to change, but they'll gripe about it. So save a few dollars by preparing your own food.
Right.
That's one reason why I started wanting to raise chickens, not because it's cheap, okay, but because I wanted to learn how many different colored eggs can I get, different things like that one day, if I had to, guess what? I could trade this chicken for some pork.
Wait, Jenny, you said it wrong.
What?
It's cheap. Just kidding.
But you know what I mean?
I know
I'm
what you mean.
trying to learn something to make my life a little better later on in case things do get really tight. You know what I mean? So that I can have something to barter with, okay, and learn something on how to take care of something to where I can make money with it later or whatever, to barter with. That's what I was thinking. Because what if they turned off all the electronics? What if we don't have electricity? So how are you going to use your bank card to go to the store if you don't have money? If you don't have access. So the only way I'm going to be able to do it is by sewing clothes for someone or, some skill that you have to do for someone else to get food for it. That type of stuff. I know it sounds kind of stupid because I'm one of those people that wants to homestead, but I was trying to think about where we were going. And after 2020, I started thinking more and more like, man, I just don't see where our future is going. And it didn't look good to me. And then all this stuff started happening with our kids in our schools, stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want my kids going to a school that has this shit. I'm going to go somewhere where it's more family valued type of school. Mm-hmm. If I have to have my kids in school, I want them to be able to be learning something that I think is going to help them in their future, So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just too, I don't know what I am. I just don't feel like I fit in anymore. It's changed so much.
Yes,
I don't belong here. So it's terrible.
It's crazy. Oh no! What does it say? Mad Max? What? Janet 6 in Bartertown? Yeah. 6
Janet in Bartertown. What's that mean?
Mad Max 6. Reference. You're the.
I know, but what's the 6 mean? That's what I'm trying to understand.
That I have no idea.
Yes,
Mad Max 6.
Mad Max.
The 6th
oh, Mad Max 6. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I got it now.
But I don't know. It's just
they put the colon in the wrong place.
That's why you need to. That's why you need to like. You should dress up like Furiosa for one of your movies. That's it.
I already did that when I did the basically when we did Blade Runner and I dressed up as Priss. I had the little
just do it again, and it can be a dual stream.
No, I ordered me a bald wig though, just so I can have it.
But it could be a dual stream. It could be a review of the movie and preparing for the apocalypse.
Yeah, but the thing is that to me, I knew I've been saying it all along that they're going to convict him. It doesn't matter whether they have evidence or not. But what shocked me the most about it was how many people just accept it. That I was reading all these horrible comments on different platforms, okay, about how they're, yay, it's finally happened. He's finally getting what he deserves. Not thinking that could be them in 6 months, being railroaded by a corrupt group of people that are running this system.
Yeah, but they're retarded. They're retarded from the jab. That's why.
The what? Retarded from the jab?
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't get the jab, but what I'm saying is
no, they did. They did. And anybody who believes that he's actually guilty did get it. That's the whole point. They actually did. They actually got their brain fried with nanoparticles and all crap. Oh my God.
It was funny. But I don't know.
I'm not
I'm having a hard
Yes,
time trying
exactly.
to understand where we're going to go from here. Because everybody's saying, well, don't worry, it appealed. They'll appeal, but they're appealing to the same people that put us where we are right now. So how do you, it's just like saying, okay, you got a judge, right? And he says, well, this, that, and the other, and we think he's corrupt, and he's only picking certain things just for the prosecution. He's not doing anything for the defense, right? Well, then you say, okay, well, this judge is corrupt. I want to report this guy. But who do you report him to? He's the judge, he's the top guy. So he's not going to say, well, yeah, I'm corrupt. He's not going to do anything about it. So who do you go to?
Here's the thing. State Supreme Court is a lot more red than blue. A lot of people don't know that. They are actually conservative, more conservative than they are liberal. And even if any of those liberal appellate court justices do not allow or overturn, it will go up there. People are freaking out because they feel all hope is lost. Honestly, I agree with you. I also saw this shit happen. It's like, they're going to try everything. They're going to fucking arrest him. They're going to do all this shit, and it ain't going to fucking matter because because one, the law and all of it is on his side. Yes, you have a bunch of fucking rhinos who are pieces of shit, but when they see that the Democrats just fucking wiped the Constitution with their asses, there's no way they're going to freaking work with them. So, it's essentially common sense in a lot of this. Any of them does, well, I can't exactly say the reality of what would happen on here because, well, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But the point is, it will happen what can't be said. And I don't want it to get that far, but I guarantee you, people are not going to be as complacent as a lot of people think. People are not going to just sit back and watch people wipe their ass with the fucking Constitution. If Biden wins 2024, I guarantee you a lot of things are going to happen. One, this country's fucked. This country is not just fucked. It's actually going to go into an armed conflict with itself. There will actually be a civil war.
It might. It might go that far.
Two.
But what I wanted to add really quick was this, while you were talking about the whole thing about the appeals. Okay. They've already said they put in the paperwork or whatever to appeal, because that's what he said. One of the things he said today in his little speech that he gave. Okay. The thing is that they're going to lay down whatever his penalty is going to be, what his punishment is for him being a felon 34 times over, right? They're going to do that starting July 11th. Okay. So that's before he's going to be officially nominated as running for president for the GOP, right? The thing is, the appellate stuff could take a year. So the whole time he's going to be a felon, even if later on they say he's not a felon because they said it was corrupt. This case is going to be thrown out and he has to be retried or whatever. Okay, whatever that stuff is. The thing is, if he gets house arrest and he has to stay at his home during this whole time while the appeals stuff is going on for a year or whatever, he's not going to get to go to rallies.
It's not going to go on for a year, Janet. An appeal of this magnitude has no choice but to overshadow any other or override any other freaking.
By who say? Who's going to make sure that he gets a quick and speedy
literally
trial
the state of
in
New
the
York
state
law?
of New York.
Not to mention our federal constitution, because they tack in a federal charge.
Okay, but
they
wait a
put
minute.
themselves
You
under.
said
They also put them
that all 12 people on the jury lied to get him convicted. Okay, so if all 12 people on the jury are crooked, the judge is crooked, the prosecution is crooked, they're all crooked. who is going to make sure he gets a speedy appellate court? See, that's what I'm trying to say. Common sense tells me if they're all crooked, they're going to say, fuck them. Let it drag out. Who cares? I don't want them doing a rally. So they win.
Because
so what
an
I'm trying to
appellate
say is,
court,
who's going to make sure he
one,
gets it fair?
again, held to a higher standard.
Mhm.
Again,
So
held to a higher standard.
A federal
Not to
court
mention,
is lower
there's also
standard,
federal
and they don't care if you
oversight.
get a good fair trial. So basically, that's what you're just saying about this.
And
thing.
also, here's another thing. Another reason why I'm not so worried is because looking at Trump's or looking at Trump himself, he's not worried. Looking at his lawyers, they weren't worried. They knew this shit was going to happen. And so that's why they're not worried. If they're not worried, I'm not worried. If it does come down to the fucking
all I
worst
can
case
say is
scenario,
I
which
saw
I'm
him.
very
I
sure
saw
that
Trump,
it won't.
and he looked tired to me. He looked worn out. He looked like he's been run through the ringer. So to me, he did look worried, especially when he found out he had 34
He
counts.
sounded a little bit
convicted of
lesser,
all of them.
yes, but honestly, he's still standing strong against them. He's still standing and speaking. They all knew that this was going to happen. But when there's federal oversight, because
I knew they were
when
gonna
you put a
convict him.
federal charge into this, when they put a federal charge into this, they already made it, or they made the biggest mistake by attacking in a federal charge in this, because you put a federal charge into a state court. You introduce, or that already is illegal. So here's the thing: if Trump does win, which he will, I have no doubt that he is going to win 2024. The point is, he has every right to objectively have the State Bar of New York investigate Alvin Bragg. He also has this, or he has the objective right to also demand that the State Bar look into Merchant. He has every right to have the government, when he has control of it, to not only arrest them, but to remove them from their, or from the ability to practice law. Because I guarantee you, or they can say, oh, it's an abuse of power. Oh, he's arresting his enemies. It's like, hey, guess what? Payback's a bitch. You open the fucking door, you fucking deserve what you get.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about anything about what's going on right now, because I know it's going to turn out for the better.
Well, I'm glad that at least you believe that. I wish I could just say, oh well, fuck it. It's all gonna work out fine.
It's not a
and
matter
I
of
can sleep
belief,
at
it's a
night.
matter of knowing.
I really wish I could do that. I wish I could just turn it off, turn my mind off, and not worry about it. But I can't help it. I am worried about it. I'm worried about defending what I have, which isn't much, but I'm willing to die for it, because I'm not going to let them just take it from me. They're going to have to take me out. That's the only way that I'm going to give it up. And that's probably how I'm going to end up. My end is going to be on my front porch, and hopefully they cremate me. They'll bury me in the ground, my family, when it does happen. But I really do believe that. I do believe that they're not going to stop until they take all of our things and hand it to the people that are willing to kiss their ass and do what they're told. Because anybody that stands up to them is a person they don't want around. And it started when they started trying to tell me I had to, get in my arm. I was like, no, and I haven't done it, and I haven't had COVID either. I've been tested. My blood was tested once because I wouldn't let them stick that up my nose, and I didn't have it. So they didn't rub a dog's ass and say, "Oh, look, she's got COVID." So it didn't happen to me because I didn't let them do it. But I really don't know. I just don't know. I hope, and I prayed and I prayed and prayed and prayed. Please let me be wrong. Don't let them convict him. Let them unanimously say this is a bullshit sham, and let them off. And when they came back with 34 or whatever it was counts, all of them on all charges, I was shocked. I mean, I cried. I actually cried, yesterday because I just couldn't believe that they would do that. That people are willing to stoop that low and make something up that's not there. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I just can't believe that there's that many people out there that are corrupt. But when we have all these people that are willing to hurt kids and do whatever for pleasure and get, and just hurt another person's life and ruin someone else's life just for a few dollars or for a pair of shoes or whatever it is that they think is more important than someone else. To me, I don't know how they live with themselves. I don't know how they sleep at night. I'm just shocked. But Junebug, I'll let you say a few things. I haven't heard that much from you. What do you think about this whole mess? Do you think it's just gonna all clear itself out and by January 9th or whatever it is, that everything will be fixed?
I mean, I kind of agree with Orange Head. It's gonna, it's gonna be, everything's gonna be fine and everything. But worst case scenario, it's gonna be over by at least the election and everything. They're just trying to. The Democrats are just trying to play dirty. There's a reason why I like to call them Democrats. So
it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. All of this is a mess. But I'm trying to read some of this stuff in the chat. See a few people saying that New Yorkers aren't the same now as they were. Because my dad was born in Albany, New York. I have relatives in Windham, Connecticut, in New York, in New Hampshire. So my dad's whole family is from up there and from Nova Scotia. And my mother is from Denton, Texas, and Oklahoma, all her relatives. My great-grandmother grew up on her Indian reservation in Oklahoma. So I've got two whole different types of people that came together to make me and my sisters. And, I don't know. I'm having a really hard time trying to understand. I guess I was so sheltered from so many things, and so many of us were. And like that girl in the very beginning that I played off TikTok, this is her first time to be able to go do this and go out and vote because finally she's realized and seeing things the way they are. And once your eyes are open to facts like this, like we're starting to see, you can't just go back to bed and say, oh, well, wake me up when it's over, because it just doesn't happen that way. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. It never goes away. It's always going to be in your head for the rest of your life. So I don't see how people just go back to bed once they're awake. And I think that's one reason why so many people don't want to go. They don't want to wake up. They don't want to see it. Just like the ones that want to get plugged back into the matrix. This is the matrix. Okay. It's trying to survive every day in our lives, pay our bills, and raise our families. That's the matrix. And it's easier to just go to work, come home, do your few things around your house and go back to bed and get up and do the same thing tomorrow and not worry about all the other stuff, because that's the headache that people don't want. And if you don't have to see it or deal with it, why would you want to? I guess just dumb people like me just dive in head first, trying to see if we can wake people up and get people to see the truth and make better decisions for themselves in their lives. Somehow, I don't know. Maybe, I just guess I'm just really a naive person. But I was looking up a lot of things, and I found out from this whole case and stuff that they didn't even want to do this case, that this whole thing right here, FEC dropped the Trump hush money case. They said it wasn't enough to prosecute him for it. See, it says Trump allegedly directed Cohen to pay the adult film actress, blah, 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 like what we were talking about earlier. But they didn't think that was enough to take him to court. But yet they were able to get 12 people on a jury to convict Trump of exactly what these people thought wasn't enough evidence to even take to court and waste the the time and the money.
Yeah, but you have to. You're again doing it wrong again. You're making a wrong assumption. The way that these convictions are done, or the way they are, they're 34 felonies, whatever they call them. So the way that the jury sheet is done, it's like Chinese checkers in a way. If you find him guilty on one, he's guilty on all. And they didn't have to find him guilty on all of it unanimously. It's unanimous, so they put all the stipulations. And I've been on a federal trial where it's this way. So if you basically it's like a multiple choice. You have like there were 10 items, and if you say no, yes, no, they're all yes, because that they're each of them the way that it's written. If this is true, then the other ones are true. They purposely do that. It's a trap. So it's basically it's really is as nefarious as basically like how would you say it? I don't know how to say it, but if you basically if you basically say you asked someone 10 questions and they basically say no on all of them except for one, then the one that is the affirmative that they want to hear is the one that they say, oh, then it's all true then, even though it's not, which is very, very wrong. Yeah.
And the thing is, like what you were just saying, the judge, from what I didn't watch that a lot of the stuff because I get too emotionally involved, just like I said, and I wasn't even that deep in it this time, and I was crying because I felt so bad for him, because he's being railroaded, and I can see it. Like
this whole thing here was illegal.
But the thing is, like this right here, this whole thing with the when he gave the jury instructions, he wouldn't even let him have the papers to read in the jury room. They had to ask questions over and over again if they needed answers, because the judge didn't even want them to have the paper with them. Why?
Yeah, but that's how.
What was the judge getting out of that? That was one of the things I wanted to ask because Hardwicky brought this up, and that's how they do.
That's how it usually is.
So, I know, but why?
It benefits the prosecution. If you want to see evidence, then you can see it, but you cannot. There is no we want to hear the evidence over again. It's only transcripts or your memory. That's why they give you notepad. You have to write things down.
Yeah, but these were jury instructions. So why wouldn't they be able to have the 30-something pages of jury instructions to be able to look through it and make check marks and say, okay, we did this. They have to
have that. They have to have.
They didn't have it.
No, okay, jury instructions or form.
The instructions on what the judge wanted them to do. Remember, he wouldn't let them take it in there with them.
Yeah, jury instructions is different than the form, the actual jury form. The jury form lays everything out.
I'm talking about the instructions. It was 30-something pages.
Correct.
30-something pages, and he would not let them take it into the jury room with them.
They don't. The judge tells you, and then you're supposed to interpret it. You can't look at it. That's how it is. You have the form. And you read it off.
Jury form.
Yeah, that you can read over and over again.
All the people I was listening to talking said, well, there's two lawyers, they're corporate lawyers, but there's two lawyers in there, so they should be able to help the rest of the jury figure out what they're doing and what they need to do. Right. And I was like, well, that might not be a good thing.
Because I served as a foreman in a federal trial, and that's what they do. And they do not do that. You have once he tells you what to do, you walk in there and you do it. And if you have a question, you have to ask, and you have to basically write down your question specifically. And I had to write it out and then send it, and then you would get it back. And then the answer would be, you know, you have to
And
go forward.
they did ask a few questions. I remember that because I remember a few people saying they asked something about Cohen's testimony and then something about Trump's answer and then some other question, but I can't remember exactly what it was. And I haven't gotten online to look up the transcript because I spent most of the day yesterday after I found out just depressed. I did laundry and I cleaned my bathroom and cried and felt like an idiot because I was upset about it, even though I knew it was going to happen. Knowing that it's going to happen because you believe they're corrupt, but then seeing what happened to him and seeing it as a reality is two totally different things. Even though I don't know, I was just very upset for him, even though I'd prayed every day, please don't let him be convicted because he didn't. It's what having someone sign a non-disclosure is not a criminal offense. I just don't see. I still don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense. I have signed like 15 non-disclosures myself, and I would never think that the people that hired me to do whatever it was that I was doing, that I had to sign the non-disclosure for, would be arrested for asking me to sign a non-disclosure and giving me a check.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense. I don't see how. I can't put it together. I need someone to sit down and read it all out to me and explain to me how these 12 people found him guilty of a felony or 34 felony charges. It just, I'm shocked over the whole thing. I still cannot.
Because they were told to break the law.
Yeah, but how do you get 12 people to all agree to break the law? How do you do that?
Because
very simple, because they all are already willing to break the law. They just needed permission to do it.
I don't know. I guess there's way more corrupt people in the world than I thought there were. I thought there was more people that cared about other people than there are criminals. I just grew up that way, I guess.
Yeah, but the thing is here, the jury was set up to convict him. Mm-hmm. They didn't lie. They just answered the questions based upon what they said. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's how it is. That's how it works. But it's going to be. It should be again. The appeals process is going to be kicked in because this is corrupt. And Orange Hat is correct to the sense that the New York Appellate Court is much different. And this again, this is supposed to, and this is where it gets so weird, or this is why it's so weird. Number one, if he did do this, then the statute of limitations is already gone. So that's number one. If he did do this, it's basically, it would be a federal crime, which is not. This is a state crime. So then, if they're applying federal, that's not. It's not valid either. But again, it's an NDA, and it reeks of stupidity, and that's why this will win on appeal. The judge gross misconduct from the judge. And all on the gag order that he applied was to cover his own ass from his own corruption he was doing. You know, so it's just terrible stuff.
It really is. And what's really sad is I just worked 4 months on a jury pool. Okay. Every week almost I had to go and sit for half a day or a whole day or 2 days to see whether or not I was going to be interviewed to be on a jury. Okay, and I'd sit there and I'd be on my phone. We're all 80 or 90 of us sitting in these rooms waiting to see whether or not we were going to be picked. They get their there are 12 jurors and 2 more. And then they say, okay, everybody else can go home. And then those people will go into another room and they get ready to be jurors. And that's what happened. And the very last time I went, for my last week, I went in and I actually got up there to sit in the jury boxes and get asked questions, and everything was great. And then the very last thing they asked me was, do you have anyone in your family that's that you're related to that's in prison right now in Arkansas? And I had to say yes. And you know who it was? The man that molested one of my nieces, which was the uncle. the uncle that molested his niece, and that person screwed over my whole family, tore all my family up, and kept me from being able to be on a jury because he happened to be in jail in my state.
So
it's
you're
like,
the one with the creepy uncle. Just kidding.
Yeah, it sucked, and it keeps coming back to haunt you because you have something like that happen. But the thing
And
is,
that man is Joe Biden. Just kidding.
I sat there for weeks, though, listening to the questions and how they asked the questions. To me, when I was finished, I felt like if I was going to have to go to court, I really felt by sitting and talking to all these people that I've met, because each time I went, I'd sit in a different place and I got to meet more and more people. And now I've noticed a few of them go to the gym that I go to and stuff like that. So I've made a few friends from it. And the thing is, I felt good about the system after I was finished with my whole thing after 4 months, that I could actually get a fair trial. I really believed it. And I still feel that in the place that I'm at right now, that I could get a fair trial, because the way that it was set up, I don't see how the questioning from both sides, everything made me feel like it was balanced. So I'm sitting out here not knowing what's going on in this courtroom with Trump, but feeling from what I just went through for 4 months that he's getting the same thing. See, they're going through the jury people that are coming in to be interviewed, and the same thing that I just saw. But apparently it isn't. It must be totally different to be able to supposedly get 12 people that would just lie and agree with another person that's lying, just so they can get out of it or something, or they're going to get a big book deal, or they're going to get a movie made about them. I don't know. So I don't have no idea. And I can't wait to find out. I cannot wait to find out what happened in there. I wish I could get transcripts of see what the questions were for these people to be on the jury. I know they said one of them got all her news off of TikTok, and two of them were lawyers and different things like that. But I don't know. I'm just having a hard time trying to understand how signing a non-disclosure or getting someone to sign a non-disclosure and paying them for that service or whatever is a felony. So I don't know. That means I've committed a felony because I signed a non-disclosure, and so do hundreds of thousands of other people in the United States. So I just don't understand it. I wish I did.
Signing an NDA doesn't make you a felony. Breaking an NDA doesn't make you a felony either. So hold on. I got
because
look at this. Share this. This goes through everything that was done wrong during. Yeah. This is everything that was done wrong during the trial. Listed out by a CNN analyst.
Okay, here we go. Let me get it.
And you can go through everything here. And it goes through line by line and it explains everything. Because again, this is
it right here?
Yep. I
can you see it?
Make it bigger if you can.
Okay. Is it by clicking on this thing?
Enlarge, make it enlarge.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to.
Your browser. Make your browser bigger.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Yeah, do the percentage of your browser. Make it larger. The other way.
Is it getting bigger?
It's getting smaller.
See, I don't know how to make it bigger. How do you make your browser bigger?
You change the percentage up instead of down.
I know, but I don't know where you do that at.
Oh my god!
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know shit.
You want me to share it?
Zoom. So you zoom in.
Yes. There you go. There you go.
See, old dogs can learn new things.
Okay. So basically, the CNN legal analyst describes how Trump conviction was a political hit job. Number one, judge donated money. Plain violation of rule of probating New York judges, making political donations. He's pro-Biden. He's again, him, Marshawn, and his daughter are well, don't go too fast. Are political operatives for the Biden administration and work for the Biden administration. Alvin Bragg, number two. Alvin Bragg boasted in a campaign in overwhelming Democratic county. In fact, I have sued Trump over 100 times. 3, mostly importantly, DA's charge against Trump pushed the outer boundaries of law and due process. That's true. 4, charges against Trump are obscure and nearly entirely unprecedented. In fact, no state prosecutor in New York, Wyoming, or anywhere has ever charged federal election law as a direct predicate of state crime against anyone for anything. None ever. 5, DA inflated misdemeanors past the state statute of limitations, and elector shocked them back to life, alleging the falsification of business records was committed with the intent to commit another crime. Again, all wrong. Again, all these are laid out. It's a bit sham. 6, inexcusably, the DA refused to specify what those unlawful means were. Yeah, because he refused to specify what those unlawful means were. And the judge declined to force them to pony up until the right closing arguments. So much that the constitutional obligation to provide notice of the defendant and the accusations against him advance of trial. They showed nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. What did he do? They didn't have that.
Yeah, but see, that's what I don't understand. How do you get 12 people to say he's guilty?
But
when
again,
they have nothing?
Because they contort the judge and the DA contorted the jury for him to do that. They were just following what the court says. These are 12 morons that believe the law system. Well, if the judge is saying this and the DA is saying this, and monkey see, monkey do, basically.
Mm-hmm.
There are people out there that still think 2020 was legitimate. That the jab was legitimate too.
If this goes through the appeals court, what will happen if someone agrees that this was a kangaroo court? What happens then?
Then it gets thrown out.
Okay, and then what happens?
It gets overturned and Trump's a free man.
Exactly.
And then they say, okay, we're going to do it again. They can take it back to court again.
Double jeopardy. They can't do it.
No, they can't.
That's not double jeopardy. He has he's already been convicted.
You can't charge a person with a crime once
trial?
they've been found innocent of that crime.
Well, he's not found innocent. They just throw it out. See, that's what I'm trying to understand.
An overturnment is the same as being found innocent.
Yes. Overturn is the same as being innocent.
So if it gets thrown out, does that mean he's still a felon or not?
No, it's overturned.
No,
it gets overturned.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
remember. All this was for them to basically have convicted felon Trump runs for president. That's all it was. That's all it is. And in their mind, they believe that people still trust CNN and MSNBC and the New York Times and the government, and that this is true. But then again, no one's believing them anymore. It's just the same thing like Hollywood. Like, Disney believes that people want to watch The Acolyte, and if they don't, or they want to watch Doctor Who, which they don't anymore. They believe this stuff because that's what they're think about it. If Disney's doing all this bad shit, the government's doing this bad shit, they're the last to change. So they're going by these old rules that, once these people who are complaining, they're just rebel rousers, they're just extremists, they're not the majority. The majority will fall in line. No, it's not. This is woken up a sleeping giant. And again, to your first video of the girl who's never voted, people who've never voted are going to start voting, and this is it. But you've got to it's not about president only, it's about your congressman too. And you're
this was another question I wanted to ask because I brought it up, I think, 2 Fridays back, but I'm not 100% remembering. But I remember I said that I didn't think we'd have an election, okay?
Right.
Because he would call martial law or whatever because either riots or people assaulting each other in the streets, in the cities, and all that stuff's utter chaos for whatever reason, whether it's Hamas people, I don't know. I said I don't know why or what's going to
Yeah,
happen. But I think
but-
that something like that, or if we go to war and our president says, because we're in war, now we have to worry about all these cells, these Russian cells or whatever that are in America. And that he says martial law to keep everybody home so that we stay safe. And he doesn't, and they have to cancel the
But no one's going to do that. They're not going to do that. Only, well, to get back to the states that'll do that, like New York, Washington, who is it? California, all the dumb states will do that. You know, but the red states won't do it. Texas won't do that. Texas won't do that. So where are terrorists? Where are they?
Even if every single state voted, right? But we don't have California and we don't have, let's say, a few Philadelphia, whatever, you know, a bunch of New England states. And then you got California, Oregon, and Washington to say they're not going to do it. There's not enough electoral college votes then for the president to win.
Correct.
So we have no president.
Then it goes to Congress.
Yeah, and then what's Congress going to do with all the rhinos in there?
That's what I'm saying. But again, they know. Again, if they do all this shit, it's gonna be civil war. If they do this ultimate extreme, then it will be outright civil war.
Mm-hmm.
I already explained what would happen if it did go to Congress.
So what do you think would happen, Orange Hat, if it did go to Congress?
If it went to Congress, the Republicans would overrule the Democrats, because after what happened today, no Republican is going to stand against Trump.
Okay. Well, I hope you're right.
Not to mention,
Manchin just left the party.
And here's another thing. It's already backfiring against the Democrats. It's already backfiring against the Democrats the second they found him guilty, because Trump already broke campaign finance records by people freaking donating to him. Not to mention, they've also just convinced thousands upon thousands of Democrats to change their vote from Biden to Trump before the election.
And
tide
Trump,
has
when
turned.
he talked,
People
he did say that
just
most
taking
of
a while
his,
for it to get here.
Okay, now here's the
that
thing.
most of the donations were small donations. You know, $15, $25.
But who is Biden's biggest backers right now at that level? The common person. Who is that common person? Single moms. Single mothers.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably most of them are poor and on welfare or whatever, and they don't have the money to donate to him.
They work their own version of the polls. Anyway, also, I know, but thing is, but who is Trump making strides and convincing for people to vote for him, not just for the first time, a Republican in a very long time, who is now turning out more than anybody else? Two groups, one bigger than the other, of course, but what's going on? Who's
the black vote? More black vote and the Hispanic vote. Hispanics, yeah.
Black and Hispanic is changing. So much so that you have Anna Navarro, the dumb cunt from The View, she basically said, "Don't they know what it's going to do to them? They have amnesia for what he did." What did he do? I still don't know. What did Trump do when he was president that he did wrong? I thought the whole the Time magazine cover of the girl crying and Trump standing there, I thought it was a meme. They were mocking Time. I didn't know it was an actual cover. It was. They did that. And I went, my God, the kids in cages thing again. All of the articles. There's that video. Have you seen it? The video where they say that they said Trump did this, but he actually did this. You saw that video, right?
Yeah, and they showed that it wasn't Trump at all. It was Obama's administration that had the kids in cages.
Right. There was a video.
Yeah, I saw that.
There was a video. Yeah. Yeah. But again, people believe the lie, and that's the whole idea. So
yeah, people still believe, just like I said, people are driving down the road still in their car by themselves wearing a mask And a lot of those same people still believe in the PP dossier that Hillary Clinton. paid
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
I talk to people like that still. That still believe that. So, and just like you said, they still believe that it wasn't stolen. And I was like, hey,
Right.
you must have never worked the polls. No, I haven't. And I said, well, that's why. Because if you'd worked the polls before, you would see by watching some of these videos that came out from regular people with their phones that they're cheating. You don't pull ballots out from under the table and keep putting the same ones in the machine. That's cheating. Anyone with common sense can see that. You don't write on other people's ballots. That's cheating. I mean, I saw tons and tons of videos. That's why I said, where are the people being arrested? And that was in 2020. It's 2024 and nothing's changed when it came to that shit. So, that's why I don't trust these people. I don't trust any of these people. They're all liars. They're all crooks. Yeah. And I don't trust to put anything in their hands, let alone my health, them being in charge of all my health choices. Fuck them. There's no way I'm gonna let them do that. I don't trust them, any of these people, ever, for anyone. I don't even trust them to take care of the people next door. Even if they voted for these people, I still would say, leave them people alone, because they don't realize what they're in. They don't realize these people don't care about them unless they're paying money. If they can't get taxes at them, then they're worthless people to them.
Right.
The only reason I'm still around, I think, is because I still pay taxes. That's the only reason I think I'm still alive.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten
Today,
rid of me.
Rasmussen has released a poll regarding President Biden's approval rating, and his disapproval rating has jumped 11 points. His now disapproval is at 55%.
Yeah, that's good, right?
So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love this one. Nerdy Org says, I wouldn't trust him to take care of my pet rock. Me either. My poor pet rock. There's no way I would let him have it. Oh, they're terrible. I don't trust any of these people. But that's basically what I wanted to talk about, was the whole thing with the non-disclosure and how it ended up becoming such a way to take out a president. I just still can't believe it. I'm having a really hard time understanding how 12 people, not one person, was looking at this stuff saying this is bullshit, especially when you had them caught lying on the stand, just like what would happen with Fannie Willis. Is that what her last name is? She lied under oath and nothing's happened to her. So, the world is, this place is ripe for criminals. If you're a criminal and you like to lie and steal and cheat, you can get anything you want with this administration. They'll let you, they'll give you a throne, basically. But if you tell the truth and you pay your taxes and you're a good person, you're not a murderer or a rapist or a child molester, they're going to treat you like shit. So basically, that's what you got to look forward to if we get 4 more years.
You have to be patient and expect it to happen when it's going to happen.
Well, I am. I'm gonna try to be a good person up until November. In November, I'll find out whether I'm gonna have to put a fence up around my property or something to protect myself. We'll see. But I just want to say thank you to everybody. It's been almost 2 hours, and I got to get up tomorrow and get ready for my game because I missed it last week. But I'll get to play tomorrow for our Dungeons and Dragons game. But I would like to ask each of you to tell everybody what your plans are for this next week, this weekend, and what's next week's coming up. So, Ruben, what do you have coming up?
Basically, I'm missing videos every day. I have my weight loss channel and my health channel. I have my personal channel when I talk about, what's going on here in the world. But I am going to be launching more video content on X and Rumble. Ruben on Rumble's coming soon. And it's basically be, just me talking about what's going on here and laying it out. Because I basically am done with the censorship stuff that's going on here. So I'm going to stand up and do that. So catch me everywhere. Follow me on all the accounts here at Ruben Haynes. And I use my real name as a John Hancock of the internet. And that's the one thing you remember. Those men like Hancock that signed the Declaration of Independence are all felons. They went against their government. They signed their life away. And some of those guys were arrested, executed, died penniless because they loved their country and they stood up to sign the Declaration of Independence. So George Washington, all of our founding fathers now, Thomas Jefferson, all that stuff, we are seeing the Trump as a new founding father of the new next generation. And I'm going to start a movement also. It's already out there already to have the Convention of States. We need the Third Continental Congress. I posted it on X. There is a movement out there to do this because this government has to be retooled, rise up again. So follow me. Let's get this done.
Okay, Junebug, you want to tell us what you got planned?
Well, I'm reviewing the Ma and Pa Kettle movies. Nobody's ever reviewed them before on YouTube, all 10 of them. And, I'm just going to be hopefully getting back into reviewing movies again. So, and that's about it. So,
well, good. That sounds like fun. So, Orange Hat, what's your plans?
All right.
Well, I'm going to be I'm here. Am I delayed? I'm guessing
go ahead
I
now.
have
I
a
can hear you.
delay on my audio.
A little bit.
All right. Yeah, I have a delay on the audio. Anyway, what I'm going to be doing is ones and twos with Mara. We're going to be talking Jurassic Park in the month of June, as well as Ghost in the Darkness and The Saint with Val Kilmer for the singles. However, the singles are not going to be shown on YouTube anymore due to YouTube's fascism. And they're going to be solely done on X. So other than that, or Sunday night recaps and Tuesday theme streams, as well as the Bar Room podcast on Tuesday nights. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, what I have planned tomorrow, I will be playing our game, our DD game that Bruce is writing, and we got a small group of people, and then we're all going to be playing, and he's keeping record of it because he's writing his own game that he hopes in the future that he's going to put out for other people to use. So I'm hoping it does well. And then Sunday, we are going to watch the movie G.I. Jane in Bruce's Discord because he's never seen it. That's a movie that I picked.
Good choice.
And then I'm going to be dressed up for the movie as a character from the movie, and we will review it on Sunday at 2:00. So if you want to watch us review G.I. Jane, join us Sunday right here on YouTube, X, and Rumble for my channel, or on Bruce's channel on YouTube and Rumble. So hope to see some of you there. It'd be great. And then we'll do the same thing all over again. But Wednesday night, I'm going to do another show in my true form, as my alien form, on UFO mysteries on Wednesday night with Tollbat. So it's going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to that too. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us this evening, and hope we didn't drive too many people crazy with me going off on my black pilling, but I can't help it. I'm an Air Force brat, and I really love this country, and it breaks my heart to see anyone lose their freedom, especially our January 6th prisoners. In this country that was supposed to have a constitution, and was supposed to be a constitutional republic, and have civil rights for people, which we do not. This government that we have right now doesn't care about the January 6th people, and no one has been charged with insurrection. But that's what they call it over and over again. And people did die that day too. So people just don't know enough about it, and they're corrupt. These people are corrupt.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that, and I want to say thank you, and I hope that you'll come back and hang out with us next Friday night. But thank you so much, and God bless America.
Amen.
God